What is going on? I would like to welcome you to xClusive Presents Junior Garcia, better known as Barber June. Hey man, it's a pleasure having you on here. It's a show where we get together and we talk in depth and have in-depth conversations about the barbering industry and the hair industry. What are some of the things that drew you into becoming a barber?
Oh man, I actually had a lot of jobs before. I started barbering later on in my life, about
Uh-huh.
28 years old, 29 years old. Um, and so there's been a lot of factors. I just got tired of working for, I just got tired of working for people and companies, corporate America. I was going to school full time. I was working. I've done sales. I've done collections. I've done, um, I was going to school for welding. I was going to school. I was also working for the garbage company.
Wow.
I've done a lot of things, right? And just going through so many of those jobs where it was just so frustrating with
Right.
the regular 9 to 5, being so frustrated with it. I was like, I need to be self-employed. All this energy, all this sacrifice, all the things that I'm going through just to make a couple of dollars and making the company rich. I
Right.
could put all this energy and I could be self-employed. I know the passion that I have, the drive that I have. I know that if I put that same energy that I'm sacrificing for this company, I know I'm going to do better off of myself being self-employed. Now I got to ask the question, what direction do I go? Right.
Right.
And
Right.
so that was the next question. And I started off doing graphics, uh,
Okay.
like doing websites, doing
Nice.
art, doing posters. Then I just realized like I like doing it, but doing it for people and having them being, I don't know, it wasn't really, it was more of a hobby than it was a profession.
What was that first memory that you said, barbering? That may be
So,
the
so
key.
about like 3 years, 4 years prior, one of my mentors, he says, you know what, man? He said, you would be a great barber. And I'm trying to go to school right now. I'm trying to be in corrections. Like I'm so educated. I'm in the, when you start going to school, you get like not brainwashed, but you just get into that zone where higher education is like
Right. Right.
is the epitome, right?
Right.
That's gonna solve world problems is higher education, right? And
Right.
and so I'm like, no, no. I was like, I love going to the barbershop. I go to the barbershop once, probably every other week. I like a fresh fade. I love the vibe, but I don't see myself as a barber. He's like, you really may consider it, man, because I think you'll be a great barber. And I said, well, I don't cut as good as them. I like a great cut. I don't do that work. I've cut in the garage before, but I can't produce that kind of work.
Right.
And he was like, you can learn that. And it just went through 1 year and out. So fast forward 5 years when I'm
Uh-huh.
frustrated and I'm looking for another alternative professionally, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try barbering.
Wow.
Let me try barbering. And because again, it's been 5 years, I'm still getting fresh cuts. I'm
Right.
still going to the barbershop.
How old were you around this time when this
I was
happened?
about 26,
About 26.
26,
Now,
27.
okay, so I never had that experience. My dad was a barber, right? So I grew
Okay.
up inside of the barbershop. So what was it for you that you liked about the barbershop that drew you coming back? Things that, because
Oh, everything.
uh-huh.
When I went to the barber shop, it was like, yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? I was the guy who greeted all the other barbers. I was the guy to
Okay.
chop it up, say stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just I
Right.
always enjoy being in the barber shop. It's like the locker room. If you ever played sports, it's
Yeah.
the locker room vibe. It's a construction site. It's where all the guys get together and the guys just, they just very opinionated,
Right.
arguments, A-type personalities. It's just yeah, and I'm okay with that kind of environment.
Okay. Now you're originally from the Bay Area, right?
Oh yeah, originally born and raised.
Okay. What
Born and
what part?
raised. I'm from 925 Pittsburgh,
Oh,
California.
nice, nice.
Yeah,
Salute. Okay,
thank you,
okay.
thank you. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so now let's continue the story. So at some point, you had to decide, okay, I'm gonna try this barbering, and then it had to be a choice of a school or apprenticeship.
so when I was done with graphics, I'm still in my mind thinking I need to be self-employed,
Right.
right? And so before I jumped into barbering, I was like, I started before I started entertaining the thought, I was like, well, let me just do a little quick research to make sure this is going to be sustainable, because again, I'm 28 years old. I'm off with the numbers a little bit because it's I'm not really thinking, but I'm 28 years old, right? I'm trying to do a career change. I'm making $20 an hour in the Bay Area working at Bank of the West for doing collections, right? And I have a family. My wife's pregnant at this time.
Wow. Okay.
My wife's pregnant. I have a mortgage.
Right.
I'm making only $30,000 a year. 30,000 a year, but I'm 28. I think I'm doing my thing, I think I'm all that because I'm working at a bank. I'm making 32,000 a year, and but anyways, so I'm like, I need to make sure that barbering. So I did a research, and the research came back I found out that barbering is one of the longest professions in the world. Is one of the longest professions. Not only that, it's withstood all the kind of, and this is in 2008.
Yeah.
So unemployment is at a skyrocket. 2008, people are losing their homes.
Right.
So and barbering is still flourishing. There's two things that people will pay for. Number one, they'll pay for their cable. Even if they don't have a job, they'll still pay for cable. Now, this is in 2008. Now it's streaming, entertainment. But they'll pay for cable, and they'll pay for their nails and their haircuts.
That's true.
In a bad economy. Economy.
Right. That's true. That's so true.
Right. And so I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Okay. Statistically and financially, it's there. So let me start thinking about it. I was like, man, if I could just get 6 cuts a day, I'm making the same amount of money that I would be working at the bank. And if I'm making the same amount of money, I could pay for my mortgage. I could pay for my, I can sustain.
Right.
I just never knew the amount of money that barbering can bring. Okay. Right. And so what I did, I invested about like $500. Actually, my mom helped me invest. Okay. My mom helped me. She gave me like $200. I put the other $300. I bought a DVD from Jay from New York. He had a DVD out. A lot of people weren't on Instagram or on YouTube. There was only a couple of people: Victor Moan, Cake and his Randy, and Jay the Barber. Those and Al Millions, but he wasn't really big on YouTube. But yeah, so I bought Jay's DVD, I bought the Andis Masters, and I bought the 76ers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and so I watched the DVD for an hour for like 2 weeks straight. This is when before Amazon had Prime, so it took 2 weeks for you to get your stuff from Amazon. Right. So I got my DVD first. And then I got my tools later, all my clippers and stuff, my cool little setup. By the time that I got my clippers, I've already been 2 weeks watching DVD every night, the whole DVD, watching it for 2 hours, an hour and a half a night. And when I got my clippers and I gave my nephew his first haircut, it was actually decent. It wasn't horrible. It was decent.
Did you do the apprenticeship, or did you go to school?
I did the apprenticeship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did cutting hair in the garage for a year while I was still working at the bank. So that's why I was getting my skills up. And man, it's crazy, man, because truth be told, I've been trying to leave Bank of the West for a whole year. Wow. I'm trying to look for other jobs or part-time jobs so I can go to school part-time. Right. Because I just can't stop working and then I have a mortgage, I have a kid, I have a wife, I got bills. Right. So what I actually, check this out. This is crazy. Okay. I actually got fired after a year of trying to leave. Oh, wow. I got
what a
fired.
Blessing, right?
Bro, God worked, man. I'm telling you, it was God.
Yeah.
God.
He's like, let me help you out, right?
Yes. So I got fired, right? And I got upset. I got mad at God. I was like, I've been trying a whole year trying to leave. Right. And I prayed. I'm like, man, and you didn't even open, you could have at least opened the door, right? You could have at least got me a job, a part-time job. And I'm having this conversation with God, praying, you know what I'm saying? Just I'm paying my tithes, I'm attending church. Anyways, I'm having this conversation with God. And it just dawned on me that I needed to go through that process. For number one, is for my faith. And number two is that perseverance in me, that dog in me needed to come out. Right. And you can, that can only come out, that hunger. Yeah. That can only come out when you go through some things. Right. And so I got a part-time job doing a sales job, commission, and I was going to school. So I worked at 8 a.m. and then I'll go to the barbershop 2 to 6, 2 to 7. If
somebody was to ask me whether they should go to school or do the apprenticeship, I think it depends on what part of their life that they're in. Right.
Absolutely. I agree.
kind of like with the situation that you're in, right? That you were
Sure.
in. That apprenticeship program works out because you
Right.
can work and you can cut in the shop and still able to make a decent amount of money while you're going to school.
Right, right, right. Again, it's all about the person and the individual, right?
Right.
Because it's this wasn't just something that I just jumped into. This is pre-thought. This is
Yeah,
premeditated. I've
exactly.
done research. I've been working at it for a year now in the garage,
Right.
right? So
Right.
if you're in your just starting and something that you just picked up, you may want to go to barber school, man, because you don't have no experience. You don't
Right.
even have all the
That's
tools.
true.
You don't even know what direction you want to go into. So you
Yeah.
need more time than you
That is
do money, right?
right. Right.
And
That's
so
so true. You started in the Bay Area, then you decided to move to Arizona, right? At some
So
point.
that's correct. But before I moved to Arizona, I moved from out of Antioch because my wife and I we bought a home in Antioch. We were in Antioch for 10 years.
Okay.
And so being a barber, working there at the shop, we decided to move out of Antioch and we moved to Vacaville, California.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So we moved to Vacaville, and that was a big process in itself. When we moved to a different county, this is 45 minutes an hour away from Antioch, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We moved to a different county, different people. We didn't know a lot of people. We knew some people from church, but we didn't know a lot of people.
Right.
And
Right.
I had to start my whole clientele over because being from Antioch and Pittsburgh and working out there and then working in Oakley, like I knew a lot of people. I knew a lot of people being out there my
Okay.
whole life.
Right.
So it was easier for people to come in and get a cut. But moving to a different county, that was hard. So there's a lot of things that I learned to do moving to a different county. Being there for 3.5 years, we realized like, you know what, we just want to get out of California.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Vacaville is nice and moving away from the Bay Area a little bit further. It's just the same, it's the same song. It's the same
It's the
song in
same song.
California.
It's California. It's really California, and
Yeah.
not knocking California. I
Not
love
knocking it.
California,
No.
all the,
Yeah.
but it is like you're saying. When you decided to move to Arizona, that once again is almost like a restart, right? You have to,
Exactly.
or did you already have some connections down there in Arizona?
No connections, no connections. So before moving out there, I contacted a couple of shops and I said, hey, man, I'm moving to this area. I'm a barber, I'm experienced. I could bring value to your shop. I'm very respectful, and here's my qualities. And these are the things that I believe in. And so when I first got down here, I worked at one shop.
Okay.
And I just had a couple requirements. I just had number one, I'm saying, let me control let me control my booking. Like I know what I can do, and I know my potential, and I know how I conduct myself. Let me control my booking. And number two, just don't disrespect me. Don't belittle me. Don't
Right.
talk to me like I'm a little kid. I'm a grown man. I
Right.
don't got no one paying my bills. You know what I'm saying? I,
Yeah.
I run this ship. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna respect you and this shop. Just respect me. That's it.
You're now an influence, man, right? And I
That's
love the
crazy.
comedy that you
That's
add
that's
to it.
crazy.
It is crazy, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did that come about? Was it something you was like, man, let me mess with this Instagram, right? You seeing
Yeah.
other people. What was that? What's that? What's the story behind that?
So I've always wanted to do content. I've always wanted to do it. But I was that guy who was always stuck behind the chair. Being in
Okay.
the Bay Area, you feel the pressure of finances. So I just got to, and not only that, being self-employed, there's a pressure that comes being
Yeah.
self-employed.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you have pressure of your, now this about this time I have 2 kids, right? I have more kids, more bills, more responsibilities. And living in the Bay Area, all I thought was money, money, money. Grind, grind, grind.
Right. Right.
Go in early, leave
Leave
late.
late. Yeah.
Squeeze people in. Don't take lunch. You know what I'm saying? If I do take a lunch, stay later in the day. That's your mind frame. So, and then having younger kids, you don't have any time outside of that, right? Then you have, and so I've always dabbled with it. I try to do it. I was just never consistent. So now that's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Now I'm just a different part of my life. My kids are older. They're all in school. Like right now, they're all in school. It's just my wife and I in the morning. And so now, and also being in Arizona, things are cheaper. So the burden of the pressure of finances is not in your face, right?
Oh,
Your money goes a long way here, a lot further than California.
right.
And so now I'm just in a different space in my life where it's like, let me try it again, right? Let me just this time be consistent. And I'm opening a shop. And so I was in Chris Boggio's mentorship program.
Nice.
And so when I joined it, they have this like this precursor, like this pre-interview, like this pre-Zoom meeting with like his videos with Chris Boggio.
Okay.
And it's just telling you what to expect in the program. And he's saying how his story was he wanted to bring awareness to his shop. So he jumped on YouTube and started promoting his shop.
Okay.
And that's how he blew up. And so I just got so inspired. I'm like, I'm starting a barbershop. Let me, I've been doing this for 10 years. I got something to say.
Okay.
I've seen it. I've been around it. I've been in it. I'm fully invested in this industry. But now let me just document it.
Oh,
Let me start making content, and because I got something to say. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I've been saying it my whole career. Now let me just document it.
Now, what was it like, getting in front of the camera, right? So you're shifting from being behind the chair, and that
Right.
first time getting in front of the camera, was that a challenge within itself?
So again, I was always intimidated. You know, the internet's crazy. The
Right,
internet is vicious. The internet is unbiased. People are more braver on the internet than they are in real life. In
right,
real life, people they won't say things, but on the internet, they're gonna say something real quick, right?
right.
Everybody has something to say on the internet. So that's super intimidating. And there's a lot of insecurities as well, right? But it didn't matter about that. When I got off the Zoom call, there was a fire that was lit in me. I was just ready to take it on. So it didn't matter about my insecurities or the fears or the negative things that were persuading me in the past. They
Right.
didn't have a hold of me anymore.
Okay,
Right.
great.
So now it's like I can care less. I'm not doing it for the naysayers. I got something to say. Yeah, yeah. And I know what I'm gonna say. I know what I'm saying is facts and it's real.
This year, for the CT Barber Expo, the Barber Grammys, we both were nominated. And congratulations for being
Okay.
nominated, bro. I think that's super dope. You as
Congratulations,
an
you as well.
influencer and myself as instructor. What was that like? I mean, how did you feel about being nominated for a Barber Grammy, man?
Shocked. Being nominated was cool. It was cool. Shout out to Jay Majors. He
Yeah.
has the game on lock. It was also an experience, but really, what really was a win for me, it
Uh-huh.
was being validated by my peers, about
Yes.
people in the industry that was congratulating me and says, "Hey, bro, win or lose with the Grammy, that's cool and all." He
Yeah.
said, "But you're doing something and you're impacting lives." That for me was, it was I can't even describe it.
Once again, I just like to say congratulations. I think that is super dope that that you were nominated. The things that you give other people, right? The confidence that you build in other people, the information that you lay out is super important to the new guys that come out, man.
Right,
For
right.
them hearing those words of affirmations and letting them know that it is fun, but it is work at the same time. So once again, congratulations, man.
Man, thank you. Congratulations to you too, man. If you've been
Thank you.
nominated, man, you know it takes a lot of work. It's this is all above barbering.
Yeah,
This is up after the chair. So I'm
yeah.
still cutting. You're probably still doing your thing,
I'm
and
still
this is
yeah.
everything. All this other content is additional. It's the sacrifice,
It
right?
is. It really is.
Like,
And you
yeah,
said a word earlier today that makes a huge difference. And I think a lot of people don't take this word serious is consistency,
mm,
right? It's not
yeah,
necessarily about the win. It's
right.
about the completion, the
That's right.
consistency of doing it over and over because it will turn into a win sooner or later, right?
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
you're getting ready to open up a barbershop. I'm
Yes,
proud of
sir.
you. This
Thank
is
you,
this
thank
is
you.
super. How's the feeling of it? Of opening, would this be your first barbershop?
First barbershop, and the feeling is stressful.
Okay.
That's the that's the only thing that comes to my mind
Yeah, no.
when they ask. Everybody keeps reminding me every time, "How's the shop? How's it coming along?"
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
stressful. Yeah, it's stressful. I'm losing money. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? My
yeah,
banking
yeah,
account
yeah.
is keep going down. It's stressful. You know what I'm saying? Like money. Everybody wants money.
Everybody wants
Yeah,
money, right? It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
because you were talking about that you're waiting for the chairs to come in, and I know it's like, okay, can you give me a time? Yeah, anywhere between 9 a.m.
Yes.
and 6 p.m. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, all day.
Yes. Exactly. They give you a window. And it's just like, oh, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So how many chairs?
10 chairs, 10 chairs.
Nice, nice,
Yes,
nice,
sir.
nice. So, okay, can you go through a little bit of the journey of scoping out a place? What were some of the things that you were looking for?
Yeah, for sure. So here's a key right here. Here's a key gem. One of the places that we're looking for it to be next to a gym or some kind of place that people are like one stop. I don't know if you guys have one stop out there, one stop nutrition or a protein shop or a Jamba
Yeah,
Juice,
yeah.
somewhere where people are really interested in taking care of themselves. People who take care of themselves are people who are looking to pay money for a haircut, right?
Right.
So we were looking for a location, a shopping center that had a lot of people like that kind of mindset. A gym is a perfect location, and we opened up right next to a gym.
What's the name of the shop?
Relentless Barbershop.
I love it. Why
Yeah,
the name Relentless?
man, I think it's been just the theme of my life, man. Like, um, two parts to that. It's been the theme of my life. Being from the Bay Area, it's sink or swim. You gotta be made of thick skin. And so you had to be relentless. And so in life, you got to be relentless. In this industry, as well as a barber, you got to be relentless. You got to be perseverance. You got to be consistent. You got to be ungiving. You're self-employed. Everything's based on you, right? So you have to be relentless. You have to be careless. You have to just be a go-getter,
Right,
right?
right.
And so I really like that theme. And also, man, God's love is relentless, right? I
That's
wouldn't
so
be
true.
where I'm at in my life without God's love. And so no matter what I've done, right? God's love is relentless, man. So my wife was like, "How about relentless?" And I'm like, "Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Let's go." Like, yeah, I'm messing with it.
Opening the shop is a lot, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. That's
you know. But what are some of your future plans that you're looking to do?
as of right now, man. There's a lot of things that I have that I've been playing with. You know, it's funny because I made a skit about this. Like,
Uh-huh.
hey, bro, I'm gonna open up a barber school. Hey, bro, I'm gonna come out with a product line. You know what I'm saying? And those are
Right,
all
right,
the
right.
things, you know. And so, but there's a couple things, man. I think I want to try probably after this settles down, man. Probably start doing a little bit more education, more of
Okay.
an educational, probably inspiring.
Okay.
More of that avenue, not so much educating haircuts, but education and actually business and educating and inspiring, and just to take people to the next level. Because that's my whole purpose. My whole purpose when I started off making content is I want to elevate and I want to inspire barbers. And so that's just my whole purpose. So everything that I try to do, I try to get a positive no. So anytime that there's something negative, I try to steer away from it just because I just want to focus on positive.
Before you go, I just have one last question. What message do you have to the newer barbers that are in school or the newer apprentice that are working towards getting their barber's license?
Man, my advice is this, man, is this and I've said this many times. This profession, barbering, has a lot of potential, has a lot to offer you, but it's only going to give you what you put into it. If you put in a little bit, you're only going to reap the benefit only a little bit. If you put in a lot, if you put into this industry a lot of effort, you're going to reap a lot of it. So you're only going to get what you put in, right? And like you were saying in the experience, I was talking to a couple of young barbers. This is my thing with young barbers. This is just something that I've told young barbers this. I said, you know what, dude, you need to go get a job. You need to go get a construction job. That's what you
Okay.
need to do. Before jumping into barbering, you need to
Right.
get a construction job, and you also need to go get a desk job.
Right.
Because
Now, why?
then when you come to barbering, you're going to be so much grateful. You're going to be so much thankful because you're going to realize that I don't like that field. I don't like that field. It is barbering is where it's at. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people, younger people that are coming into the barber industry, they have no work experience. So they don't have barbering. They don't have nothing to compare it to. So my thing is, man, you're only going to get what you put in.
Thank you once again. We got to connect.
Yeah.
Good luck on the shop, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings, bro. Thank you for taking this interview. It means a lot. Until we meet again, bro. I
Yes, sir. Hey,
appreciate you,
thank you
man.
so much, man. I appreciate you. Let me use your platform and inviting me. Anytime that someone invites me, I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful because I just there's nothing really different. There's no difference between you and I. There's no difference, man. We just
So true.
two dudes, common barbering, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're humans, man. And so, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for you guys extending the invitation and, you know, bring me onto your guys' platform. Yeah. So thank you.